this is my favorite episode so far.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's pretty good. I feel like they know what they want the show to be now.
Yeah. And I have an opinion on that.
Okay.
I don't think this is a superhero show. I think this is a supervillain show, or at least a cautionary tale.
So you're saying it's more of a show about the Hood than it is about Riri?
Well, no, it's a cautionary tale about not going down the wrong path.
Okay. I suppose. Got the Hood and Zeke Stain, which I got spoiled for me because of social media and the fact that we got this really late. But, I forgot. Did they cover up that he was killed in a plane crash? In the first
That's
movie?
that's new information to me. I granted it's been a while since I've seen the first Iron Man.
How did they say Obadiah Stane died in Iron Man 1? Okay. Here, in Obadiah Stane died in a fire. Tony Stark and Pepper Potts overload the reactor. This caused the explosion, sending Ironmonger crash into the Shield was originally going to cover up the stain due to a yacht accident.
Hmm.
Yet in Iron Man 2 at the start, reporter is asking if they suspect them to believe there was a bodyguard was in a Stark suit. Because I don't, because that was what I'm racking. I'm like, I don't have time to search for when they said it. But I know they didn't like, hey, he died in a reactor thinger jobber mababi at the thing. I just because the amount of questions that now raise in my head is, what does he actually have in that bag?
Oh,
Cause if they said they recovered the ashes from a plane crash, did they just recover random ashes and he doesn't actually have his dad in that bag?
you know, that is a great question.
Cause I'm going to assume he was damn near vaporized from that blast in the arc reactor.
That's what I have to assume.
So, does he just have fake ashes in a Ziploc bag in his kitchen that's not Obadiah? The more I think about this, the more I'm really disturbed about what this guy would do if he found out that's likely not his dad in that bag.
Oh God.
Because the more I think about it, the more it just clocks that that's not his dad in that bag. It just makes too much sense. Anyway, we got some stuff that happens before that. Okay, so you get the little, start at the whatever, talking about what they're going to do. Well, before we get there, I'm going to bring something up because it's a thing that we have not addressed. Slug is originally an insanely overweight white male in comics.
Yep.
Now, is making him obviously a boisterous transgender? Did they actually say?
I think it's
Gay?
probably non-binary.
Non-binary. So, I will say, obviously, that is a gender, whatever, switch, whatever you want to do. They are going about it the correct way with this character. Because you know what they're not doing with this character? Going out of their way every 15 seconds to say what they are.
Yep.
They're making the character be a hacker first that happens to be blank, not a thing who was blank that happens to be a hacker. This is how you do representation correctly. Just have the character exist and don't make it a big deal. When you normalize something, that makes it normal and not an oddity like you're trying to avoid.
Exactly.
It's crazy how that works. If you don't go out of your way to make them seem like an oddball, they seem like a normal member of society. It's amazing how that works. But, so, you have all them talking over what they would do with the money, all that, and the who's gal, and then you don't have, oh no, I'm blanking on his name. Oh, the Hood. What's his
Oh,
name?
Parker?
Parker. You don't have Parker initially wanting to kill them over finding the Hood. Or I should say wearing the Hood. And I like that she's wearing the Hood for roughly 2 minutes and the thing's starting to feel insanely hot. And Parker's wearing it for 6 hours at a time. So we get all that. And Parker just kind of lets go that she gets her head slammed off a desk until he apologizes afterwards. But, yeah. So, if the alliance is all the way through by everybody, there's one thing I have to mention, and I mentioned it last time. What Natalie's memories are.
Yeah, they're blurring that line quite a bit between what Natalie remembers and what Riri remembers.
So, here is my best line of thinking. And what I'm hoping they're going to do. This is just, I have no way to back this up. I have no confirmations. I know some things about the ending. I know the big one about the ending.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to that.
But I don't know anything about Natalie and how this series ends with how she ends up. But, so when they're talking, Riri brings up, do you remember blank happening with ba-ba-ba and ba-ba-ba? And then she brings up how Riri reacted to the situation. A thing Riri would know. She has Riri get calmed down by Natalie.
Something that she remembers.
Something she would remember, but they're saying only Natalie would know. Now, Natalie says very, very clearly that there is a lot of gaps in her memory. What I'm hoping is that means the gaps are there because she doesn't have her actual memory. She has memories of things that Riri knows about Natalie. Because Riri's brain was scanned and not Natalie's.
Right.
That is what I am hoping to God is going to be the explanation at the end. Because if it isn't, they just threw every ounce of logic out the window of what they said was scanned in Riri's brain. But I'm giving them the out because they said something that could be used as the out. So, that's where it is. Because even when they're freaking out in the chair at the garage, Natalie's not remembering the freak out leading to that. She sees her gum on the floor, whatever, hey, see if this has whatever. She sees Natalie or Riri having a panic attack and is like partially freaking out as to why right away. So I am hoping this headcanon is what's going on, and they come to a realization at the end that like this thing isn't Natalie, but Natalie's there in spirit to help her.
I mean, that at the very least, that's sort of the sentiment I'm getting. That even though her best friend is gone, she'll always have part of her with her.
And that's what I'm thinking is partially going to happen. They're going to have some argument, and Riri's going to blurt out that it's not actually her, it's just her memories of her. And then they're going to have something at the end that goes, you may not actually be Natalie, but it still feels like I have her here. Hoping that's what happens.
Same.
Hoping. Because there had to be... I edited fan fiction and story writing for a friend of mine for going on 8 years. I am not a professional. I am hoping you had a editing professional in that room that caught that, and that's why you're doing it. Okay. So, big elephant in the room. That is Ezekiel Stone. Don't know if Ezekiel Stone is an actual... I have Google. Oh, it's going to bring him up from the thing in Marvel. Ezekiel... Oh, Stain. Sorry. Ezekiel Stain.
Yes, that is an actual character from the
is.
comics.
It is an actual character. His helmet looks weird. Looks like an owl. That is weird looking. He didn't appear until 2008. He almost appeared at the same time as the original Iron Man movie.
Yep.
That's crazy. He's a human cyborg. Ezekiel Zeke Stain. But, yeah. So, that is an interesting wrinkle. That feels like... and I hate that I'm saying this. A Season 2 Ironheart villain.
You're not wrong.
That I don't think we're gonna get. Which is sad. But, what they honest to God could do, if that movie is actually gonna happen...
Oh, Armor Wars?
No. Young Avengers.
Oh.
Because who in the Johnny Blue hell else are they gonna go after?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't see them taking on the actual big guy that shows up at the end of this. But, yeah, anyway, so, and why I see him being that is because Riri drops the mesh, doesn't notice that she drops it, was not well applied, I'm just gonna say.
It looked like a pretty slapdash job.
It felt like she had it on with masking tape because she's like holding it onto her wrist in her sleeve like you have a laser and some masking tape. Riri, you walked in on Obadiah having a 5-inch slit in his arm and like robotic prosthetics in his forearm. You couldn't have got anything else? A full arm wrap? Nothing? What are we doing? What are we doing? But, yeah, so you get this scene in the greenhouse, which is great, by the way. Are you noticing at all a connection, and stop me if I'm not noticing it, between these two? Is it just helping the city be better?
As far as I know, that's really all I see right now.
Because it's like transportation and crops. And, yeah, transportation to make easier. And then crops. And they're making deals to get cuts from him. So...
It does make it seem like Parker is an evil version of Robin Hood, where instead of stealing from the rich and giving back to the poor, they're just stealing things for themselves.
Yeah, it does seem like that's what they're trying for. It's weird. He's just getting after rich fat cats, and then I don't know if I'm gonna feel like he's gonna make some comment about how we'd be stealing from Tony if he was still alive. I don't know if that's gonna get said.
It feels like something that could be said in like the next episode.
Yeah, because I've read the thing for the next episode, and it's basically Riri's going to have to figure out well, shit. Now I have to figure out how to not have Magic Man kill me. Yeah. And we figure out Rampage was dead. They just know of him as Rampage and did that well. And now that that it was John that killed him. So John carried out the loose ends, and supposedly Parker was there to see it for the demotions, because they don't keep loose ends. So yeah, we gotta figure out what's going on with that, because he's got to know something went wrong to make sure that the deal was not the way it was supposed to be. But yet they have no way of knowing that other than the Hood is going to tell him it was Riri. Unless somehow he can, like, see John in I'm going to assume is hell?
I mean, that's what it seems like.
So, I don't know.
I kind of like that. Other than like the spoilers that I've seen, because naturally we're getting to the show a little bit later, but other than like the spoiler stuff, I have no idea what's going on in the show.
No, I don't either. Don't have a damn clue. We're halfway. I just hate that they figured this out, exactly how the show should be, kind of like structured wise, halfway through it. We're only on episode 3. This is one that I was like, I'm gonna feel like toward the end you probably could have had 8 episodes, but I know this show went through some shit. Yeah, liking it so far.
Yeah, no, I like this cast. I definitely like the dynamic between Riri and Nat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested in seeing where they take Zeke's character.
Yeah, Riri and Nat are fantastic. They're one of my favorite pairs that they've gotten, because they like naturally, their dynamic is well written. Like Natalie, legitimately cares about her, and cares about her a lot. So it's like seeing what it would be like if Jarvis was alive the entire time before he became Vision.
Mm-hmm.
But like talking to him, so it's a cool flip reversal to see that coming through. But yeah, I am enjoying this quite a bit. Liking it a lot. It'll be interesting to see how they get the rest of it in, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah. Pretty much what I'm looking forward to now is how we get to the moment, you know?
Yeah, pretty much. But do you have anything else?
I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah, I would say so. All right. Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterbox.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Renegade Pop Culture. You can also find us here on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You need to escape, so do we.
Absolutely. You can find me everywhere at Organ and Zero, mainly on Twitch and YouTube. If any of you are interested in Ghost of Yotei, I'll be giving away a copy of the game at the midnight release on October 2nd. All you need to be doing is be subscribed and watching during the giveaway. Yes, Manny, I'm talking about you. And yeah, it'll put your name into a little auto entry zipped in with your subscription. Then like an hour and a half into the stream, it'll spit it out and we'll have the winner there. If anywhere into cosplays, conventions, and the like, then you can check out my Instagram at Organoid Zero. All of my cosplay stuff is over there. And until next time, we will see you all later.
Peace.